What plays for the Avalanche has one eye and fell off a cliff last season? If you didn't say Carl Soderberg, I don't blame you, because he was mostly invisible last year. Before the 16-17 season, Soderberg was known as a setup man, having 3 consecutive seasons with at least 30 assists, the 15-16 one with the Avs being his career high at 39. Unfortunately, it all came crashing down this season for a myriad of reasons, the biggest one probably being that the Avs simply just weren't very good at putting the puck in the net. After playing a large chunk of the 15-16 season on the second line for the Avs, Soderberg was knocked down to the third line for the first part of the 2016-17 season, and even the fourth line for a good part of the second half. With lesser line mates that aren't able to bury his passes, his skills that made him shine in his first year for the Avalanche just weren't able to come out. His lacking line mates clearly affected his play, as most of his highlights from this season come as goals instead of assists. Even in the goal category he did struggle, but he was able to find the net a few times when cutting down the center of the ice. Soderberg really seemed to struggle even more than most with the new systems for the Avalanche last year. Bednar coming in late during the offseason, Soderberg being at the World Cup of Hockey for a significant part of the Avs training camp, and of course then you have his bad eye as well. I don't actually know how much his bad eye affected his ability in the role that Bednar wanted him to play, but it's safe to say that it didn't help him in any way. On top of all that, his compete level was probably the final nail in the coffin. There were just far too many games where Soderberg seemed to be just phoning it in. He played in 80 of the 82 games on the season, and it's a bit of a surprise to me that he didn't see the bench at all given his effort level, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see that effort level again this season if he does get benched. While I'm sure it was hard on Soderberg mentally to be slid down the roster and watch the team come off the rails faster than a soda full of Mentos, you still expect more from a player that's a veteran of professional hockey. The question now is, how much are Soderberg's personal skills regressing as compared to being put with weak line mates? Based on his performances in both the World Cup of Hockey and the IIHF World Championships, it's not looking super great for Soderberg. Across the 2 tournaments, he scored just 2 points in 14 games playing with some of the best players from Sweden. During the NHL season, he had multiple completely invisible stretches. No less than 3 times did he go 10 games without scoring a single point. With some of the weakest possession metrics on the team, his reliable defensive play also all but completely dried up this season. Pretty much everything that could have gone wrong for him did. With youngsters like Tyson Jost and JT Compher capable of playing center and look to insert themselves in the Avs lineup, it's going to be even harder for Soderberg to get with quality line mates and have a bounce-back season. On top of that, his contract that has 3 years left at a $4.75 million AAV and includes a modified no-trade clause really makes the outlook for Soderberg look grim with the Avalanche. I don't think it would surprise anyone if he becomes an anchor by the end of his contract, that is, if he isn't one already. Sticking to the 16-17 season, Soderberg scored 14 points with 6 goals and 8 assists, and I'm going to give him a D- on the season. To fall off so hard that you scored less than a third of the points you did last year despite playing the full season is just unacceptable. Combine that with the fact that he clearly quit on the team, it's just not a pretty sight. Soderberg at his best is the player I really like to watch, and I do hope that he can get back there, but I don't have a ton of faith that he'll be able to. That is the end of this rather harsh player season review. Thank you for watching. I'm Rudo3, and the summer is hot in a hockey jersey.